Yo, hey everybody, welcome back to your boy SeanDavieWay. I am joined today by two beautiful black women, and they are going to be talking about this situation when it comes down to Torie Chisholm. A quick little backstory on Torie. Torie has been incarcerated since he was 15 years old. He was tried and sentenced. He did a pre-sentencing, and after that pre-sentencing, he went back to court. And when he went to court for the actual sentence, the prosecutor wanted him to be treated as an example. And with him being treated as an example, a young black man, and especially where he was, Virginia at the time, which is not where he was from, but he was in Virginia at the time, and he was ended up railroaded, while he went to sentencing, and he got charged, actually sentenced with 303 years. Technically, they weren't supposed to go over 50 years, it was between 23 and 50, and he ended up getting railroaded while, like a lot of other black young men that are, treated, unfairly by the justice system. So they've been bringing a lot of attention to this man's name. He's 32 now. He's been incarcerated since he was 15. I'm sure y'all can only imagine, like how his life has been being incarcerated for that long. He did do a crime, but he definitely did the time for it, over the time, if you will. He has young children that have been awaiting his arrival home. So we just want to put as much spotlight and as much attention to this as possible. Torie has interviewed elsewhere, and shout out to all of the other YouTubers that are bringing this to the forefront and making this an issue, because it is an issue and it needs to be discussed. It's been swept under the rug too long, and y'all know how I feel about situations, especially with the black community, that we sweep underneath the rug. If we can help each other, we should help each other. So that's exactly what I'm here today to do. So welcome, and if you would definitely give Lauren and Lisa a huge shout out when they come in. I do want to point out the fact that there are petitions online for Torie. I have, oh Lord, I'm all up in my inbox. Can we get out of here, please? Can we get out of here, please? Can we get out of here, please? What is this? What is this? 1 second. Oh, here we go. There are petitions online. Let me pull this up. Sorry. Technical difficulty. Y'all all up in my email, y'all all up in my life. So free Torie. He was 15 years old, sentenced to 47 years with no murder charge. I have already signed. I need y'all to do the same thing. Absolutely. Get on here immediately and sign these petitions, because the sooner the better. Okay, so let's get her done. Let's get her done. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna bring Lauren and Lisa up.
It's
Hello, Lauren Lee. Sorry, Lorraine. Yeah. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, how are you?
I am so good. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lorraine.
The TV, turn it down. Okay, we got to turn our TV down. Hold on.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Hey, I want to thank you for actually listening to our story and getting it out there and getting as many people as possible to sign his petition.
Oh, no.
In this case, it began. Actually, he was only 14 years old when the charges first was. He was first charged, and at the age of 15 is when he went through the course of the penal system, and they gave him almost 490 years, close to.
Oh, wow.
No one was murdered, and he was the youngest one out of the group of individuals that did the crime, actually. So he originally was in the juvenile system. So there was a district attorney in the county of Henrico in Virginia that I guess wanted to make a name for himself and use Torie as an example, and moved his case up into the adult court, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, at the time I didn't have any money for no paid lawyer, so he had a court-appointed lawyer, his name was Pratt Cook. In Henrico, Virginia. It was a court-appointed lawyer. And basically what he did, to make a long story short, is serve my son on a platter to this district attorney. With that being said, my son has been incarcerated. Well, you can do the math. He's 30. He'll be 32 December 7th, and he's been incarcerated since he was 14 years old. No one was murdered. It was a group of individuals. It was one incident, basically, with 19 people that was at the party, which basically the older individual robbed and brought my son along with him. And him being 14 years old and have the sense enough to know, look, this is not going to work out well for us, you know? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, again, he was 14 years old at the time, and he's been incarcerated thus far. And it's 2000 going into 2021. So he's been incarcerated more years than he's been on the earth. He's been incarcerated.
Absolutely. So when before he was incarcerated, he was like a young father, correct?
Excuse me?
He was a young father, correct? 15,
yes,
having a child.
Well, yeah, his girlfriend was having kids at the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he is a young father.
Right. So with his kids' life, how much of his kids have he seen? Has he been pretty much the entire time they've been born?
Yes, he's very active in their life. You know, he calls them on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. He calls his daughter and his son, you know, via phone. When we are able to get them up there to see him, they go up there and see him. And Wallen State prisons where he's being housed. Mm-hmm. So he is active in their life as much as possible, you know.
So Torie has interviewed, and the interview that he did, he said that, you know, he did, you know, he was a part of, you know, this robbery. Technically what he's charged with, a robbery.
And the thing about that is it was one robbery, but it was 19 individuals. So what they did was piled on a robbery for each individual that was in the party. So it was 19 individuals. So it was what, 19? 20. Yeah, close to 20. He had so many, they piled up so many charges on him for one instance, so it was ridiculous. So it was one incident, but he had like close to 40 something charges, robbery and with the firearm, because it was 19 individuals that was at the party that they robbed, basically.
So they charged him with armed robbery for all the people that was there, and for a firearm with all the people that was there, which equal up to 40 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he got charged for all 19 people. They just stacked all the charges up together and placed them onto him, and then it all added up to about 40 years after they accumulated it.
Exactly. And we were under the impression that if he take a plea that he wouldn't get no more than 15 years. That's what his court-appointed lawyer told him. But when all was said and done, he was charged with each count for 19 people, and that amounted up to how many years? From 47 years. Mm-hmm. You got people that killed people. Mm-hmm. That's been in jail and has gotten paroled or been released since then, you know. Mm-hmm. They didn't even take into consideration his age, the fact that he was with 3 other individuals that were grown men that brought him along to the incident. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even aware of all this was really going to take place. He didn't understand the severity of it, you know. No, he just it was some fast money that he was going to make, you know. And to be honest with you, he understands his mistake, you know. Make no mistake about it. He understands that he should have been, you know, punished for his crime, but not like this. Not to this extent. Mm-hmm. You know,
absolutely. He said the same thing. He said that he definitely acknowledged the fact that he did something wrong. He acknowledged the fact that he should have been, you know, that there's repercussions for what you do, you know, in life, but he's definitely paid his debt to society. So when it comes to Torie, he said that during the pre-sentencing, like you said, he thought that he was going to be getting about around 15 years, you know, something in that area. And then he goes into the actual sentencing, and the prosecutor, this new, you know, hotshot prosecutor, wanted to make an example out of him based out of the other minors that, you know, were committing crimes like basically a serial killer, comparing him to like the DC sniper, you know, and things in that nature. So they wanted to make an example out of him during the sentencing, after they had already gave him this preconceived notion and his attorney that he was going to get about 15 years, and then he goes in the court, use it as an example, and they slapped 303 years on him, is what we're saying.
Yes, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yeah, making too much noise. Come on.
She's so cute. So with him being incarcerated in 3 years, is there any time served that they're taking off of that based off of the last 16, 17 years, you know, that he's been in prison?
Is there any time served that they're going to take off?
Mm-hmm.
No. Mm-mm. No, it's not. He has to do those 47 years. He's eligible to go up for parole for 20 years. The governor just passed that law that if you do 20 years, you can go up for parole. So that's what we're waiting for.
Okay,
and we also waiting for the clemency, right? If he get the clemency, then he will do time served. But if not, then he's going to have to do those 20 years and go up for parole.
So when he goes back to court, if they allow the time served with him going up for parole, and they allow the time served, if they still want him to do the rest of that time, is that still possible too?
That's correct. That's with the parole. If he goes up for parole, then if they deny it, he would have to do the rest of the time until he's up for parole again.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in time, we have a lawyer that's been you know, actually we have a pardon lawyer, a lawyer that's handling his pardon papers to the governor. Mm-hmm. You know, whether I think he's going to do clemency or either mm-hmm. pardon. So, you know, and he's at the mercy of the governor, you know, basically whether or not they're going to approve it or not at this point, you know. So he has two options, basically. It's either the pardon or parole. And parole is not guaranteed, mm-hmm. you know. So, yeah, it's been like he's just been like just locked away and forgotten about, you know.
So with the pardon, is he expecting this pardon from like the government or the president? Like, where's this pardon? Where would it come from?
The governor of Virginia, basically. Okay. He's able to grant him a pardon or even clemency, you know, either or. So he's basically at the mercy of the governor at this point. You know, to say, okay, hey, this guy, you know, to take a look at his case and say, hey, he was only 14 years, you know, at 14 years old at this time of the incident. You know, what are you guys doing? Why would y'all lock him up for the rest of his life, basically, at 14 years old? Mm-hmm. You know, so he has, like we just mentioned, either the pardon or parole. And I'm not really quite sure I even want him to go for parole because they have the option of saying, you know, denying it, basically, you know. And then even with parole, you still have to go years that, you know, people looking over your shoulder, you know, you have to report to somebody. I'm really praying to God that he gets a pardon, you know, from Governor Northern here in the state of Virginia. Mm-hmm. Which means he's gone. He's done. His time is done. He did his time. He did his crime and he did his time, you know. So my fingers is crossed as far as the pardon is concerned. So as many listeners that you may have, I'm not quite sure. I'm praying that some of them can even, you know, generate even if you or can generate a letter, just you know, a generic letter to the governor of the state of Virginia, which is Governor Northern at this time. Just, you know, explaining to them that you're expressing concern in regards to Torie Chisholm's case. Mm-hmm. You know, just bringing some light to what happened to them.
No, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I will have on my Instagram, for all the people that are listening, subscribers, moderators, if you could please share the post. I have his petition that is being placed up, and we're also going to start our own hashtag for the governor so that we can get the governor just their attention, just so they can know. It all starts at a small space. The more people get involved, the louder our voices become. So we got to start somewhere. So it's like this man has been incarcerated since he was 15 years old. He has children out here that are waiting for him. He's even a great father from prison. So I mean, just imagine how great of a father he would be if he was actually free and able to do the things that he should have been able to do. This is a black man with no criminal history before the age of 14. He made a mistake, and with this mistake, it garnished and took away basically the rest of his life. And it's like, how fair is that? Like, it isn't at all. So we should do everything in our power. Like, we're not asking much. Signing a petition, writing a quick letter, and sending it off. Even if you I have a P.O. box. If you write your letters and send them to me, I will mail them for you. Like, I mean, it is not a problem. Like, let's just do it as much as we can, to help this young man. And to get back into that, Lisa and Lorene, is when you talk to him, how is his spirit? I mean, he sounds like, he's doing well, but still at the same time, he does, you hear like this pain, that's in his voice, like when he speaks of it. It seems to me like when he's not talking about it, he's in a higher spirit, but when he talks about like what happened and why he is where he is, he just gets so down. And it's like he can't get out of that space that's like a juvenile. Even when he talks about it, he talks to like in the headspace of like, I'm still a juvenile, and it's like, you're not like you're, but it's like, that's the space, that he's in due to how long he's been incarcerated. So just where is he mentally? How is he?
Well, he's a very strong young man. Definitely, because like I said, I don't know how many Black youths have been in the system since they were a teenager, like he was. And for him to have the state of mind that he's in right now is amazing to me. He's holding on to hope. And it's a sad thing because he literally sleep, eat, and breathe just getting home. He's not even 32 years old yet. And I feel the pain, like you said, you can hear it in his voice. It's just there. He wants someone to take a look at this and say, "Hey, this was unjust to me." Give me another chance at life. He still has another chance. He has a full life to lead out here if they just let him, give him the chance, basically. So to answer your questions, he's in a state of mind that's amazing to me, basically, because I don't think you will find too many individuals under his circumstances that have the frame of mind that he has. Just positive, He tries to stay on a positive note, Mom, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I believe him, he's learned his lesson, So he I think he tried to keep my spirits up, opposed to him, really expressing how he's feeling at the time. But he has hope,
Yeah, so when I talk to Torie, I do tell him that you have to think positive. You have to think positive thoughts, and everything that you think positive is gonna come. You can't think negative. That's what I tell him.
And he also said with that too, that he just wanted to keep a bunch of positivity around him. If no one's being positive, I really just don't even want to speak to you, because you could just tell that I've been so negative for so long. Now that I've made it to a place, to where I can be positive, I want to stay there and I want to keep that. And he definitely said that you two have been really strong influences in keeping him strong. And like you said, my mother has been there the whole entire time. She has fought hard for me. She's paid for lawyers. There's been court appointed. I mean, she's done it all. She's been through the ringer for me. He really appreciates that. So when you say you believe him and when he get out that he's going to do good, I agree. And how could we not believe him when he went to prison basically at 14 years old? I mean, like, his life has been gone ever since. So it's like, why would we not believe him? I mean, if he had the chance to do better, he would. He just hasn't been given that chance. So I really appreciate you guys.
All right. I appreciate you so much too. I mean, really just giving us this ear time. I really appreciate it. You don't know what you have done for me today.
No,
yeah.
Anything I can do.
You're very calm today, Sean. You're very calm today.
I'm in front of ladies, and have to let you get your stories out and all that good stuff. But I really appreciate you reaching out to me. Like, out of all people, you can reach out to anybody, and you chose me, so I really appreciate that.
We
Okay.
appreciate you too. Because we really want to get his story out. I know I watch a lot of you YouTube guys, and y'all talk about a lot of the celebrity gossip and stuff like that. But this story right here should be real news. This is real news that should be talked about.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
And
100%.
it affects our community, because
Yes.
this can be anybody's child.
Mhm.
He's not unique in this story.
No,
It probably happened to the millions others of black and brown skin. He's not unique to it.
Mhm.
They've been doing this for decades to our kids.
Absolutely.
They've been doing this for decades. Enough is enough.
Mhm.
Enough is enough.
Really is.
Absolutely.
And now we have the platform, the benefit of the media now. So our voices can be heard.
Absolutely. And we were there.
They need to stop doing it to black and brown kids.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, Lorene, how has everything been for you? I mean, in this type of situation, I know cannot necessarily be an easy task, but you are definitely, a thoroughbred, and you are staying right there next to your man, holding your man down, believing in his innocence. And I really appreciate that in you, because there's a lot of women that don't get enough credit for that, truly holding down a black man and giving him a second chance. That's why I love people like Nicki Minaj. Like, she don't care about his background. I love you for you, so, and it's the same thing with you. You love him for him, and he truly loves you. You can tell, like, you're a big part of his life. So, like, what do you do to keep yourself sane until your man get home, girl? What you be doing?
Well, I mean, I am a very strong person. Yeah, I'm a very strong person anyway. I do what I want to do, and I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. And I have really dealt with, I've dealt with a lot of men and stuff like that, and I have got to the age where I don't want to do that anymore. Where I done got to the age where I'm ready to settle down and have a family. I don't have any kids, but I think positive all the time. And sex and penis, it's not that serious to me. Like, penis doesn't run me. I'm thinking about trying to get my man home and work and making his money. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about no penis or cheating on him. None of that. That doesn't matter to me. It really don't. It don't run my mind. I'm not a weak female for sex. It's not that serious.
No, and I love that.
Yeah.
No, you're a real one for that.
Yeah.
We are. Not an easy task, and you do it well. And Gemini, she wants to know how old he is now. He is about to be 32, correct?
33. He was born at 87. I think 33. 33. Yeah.
Probably 33. I just so we like the same. So, and that's another reason near to me, because we are really close in age. He was born in 87. I was born in 88. So I couldn't imagine, like, since I was 14 years old, because we were at that age, around the same age, being incarcerated like all of my adult years, so I mean, that's hard. And for people like you to hold him down and stay true to him and keep him, positive, especially since this is completely unjust. This mistake happened at 14. And like y'all say, he didn't take a life. He didn't do any of that. There is no reason that this man should have to literally pass away in a place he didn't deserve to be in the first place. I mean, they completely looked over him being a juvenile. They didn't give him the second chance he deserved. His brain wasn't even mentally developed to the point to where his decision-making skills were permanent, or anything of that nature. So he was not given a fair chance. So I just really, really, really appreciate y'all for doing what y'all doing. And we will get those petitions signed. We will get those numbers up. We will keep supporting. We will keep tagging people, the Kim Kardashians, the everybody's, the love after lockups, like all of that. We will get his name out there. We will make sure that we get his name out there. And this is not the last conversation we will be having. Hopefully the next one will be him sitting next to you and us saying, welcome home, type of situation.
Of course, that's my man, and I'm going to stand by my man. I love that man. I don't give a damn what nobody got to say. That's me. That's my man, and I'm going to be with him regardless. If he locked up or not, I don't care. Because, a lot of people be having negative things to say about me and his relationship because he incarcerated. They be like, oh, what if he come out and don't be with you? I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. You know, we're gonna be together. So I really don't care what anybody got to say. Yeah.
Absolutely. That about you. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm going to get this petition and all the other stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to keep in contact with you because I would like to know how any way
Thank
we can
you
help.
so much. Thank you so much for letting us have this interview on your platform. What is it, Station Head? Yeah, Station Head. I've heard a lot about Station Head, but I never, seen it or whatever. But thank you so much for letting us have this interview. And everybody, just please help me get my baby home. Please. I love
Absolutely.
him so much. Can't wait to come home.
That's so sweet. We can help you. We can help
Thank you.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my God, I love her. That was so sweet. They're so sweet. So, y'all, we got to get this. Look now, hold on. Let me put this back up. Let me put it back up because y'all think I'm playing. I'm not playing. Look, we need to get this petition signed. There are multiple petitions that are online, and we need to get all of them signed immediately. Let's get this man home. All we have to do is keep showing attention to it, keep spotlighting it, and keep making it a priority. The more we make it a priority, the more they don't have a choice. They can't ignore him if we're not. If we ignore him, they will too. So let's get this man home. He done been in there since he was 14. He got children waiting for him. He got a wife waiting for him. He has a mother waiting for him. He has so many people that are sitting here waiting for him. And all he needs is us. And it doesn't take much at all, to help. All we have to do is show that we care. There are so many Black and just men of color in general that are incarcerated that don't have to be. All they need is a second chance. Look at how the world is going right now. When is a better time for a wife to need her husband and for the children to need their father? We're in COVID. It's just so many things going on. So if there's anything that we can do, we should do it, especially if it just involves finger movement. You're on your phones all day. Come on now. Let's put all of our brains and all of our minds together and push this power. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Kim Kardashian for everything she's done for prison reform, but we can do those same things. We can do the same thing. Her assistance would be great, but it's not necessarily needed. We can do this too. More voices should be stronger than one. Why should her one voice be stronger than the thousands of us? Absolutely not. So the petition is almost to where it needs to be. Let's keep signing it, getting to where it's supposed to be. And I'm about to go on Station Head. So if y'all want to join me on Station Head, Miles, if you have the link, if you can drop that. But I'm going to go on Station Head. We're going to talk about this a little bit furthermore among some other things. But thank y'all so much. Make sure you go to change.org and go to Free Torie Chisholm. Please go over there and sign this petition. Right after I get off of here, I'm going to go on Instagram and post the governor's information of Virginia so that we need to stay on top of this. I'm going to post the address, a place where everybody can send letters. I'm going to send at least one letter a day. So if y'all can join me in sending one letter a day, imagine, it's just one small letter a day. And it's just a free Torie because the man I've been in there since 14. He needs section. There's plenty of reasons he needs to be freed. So if you need some help, let me know. I don't mind sending you what I'm writing. All you got to do is copy paste it. Just write your name at the bottom. It doesn't matter. Any way I can help you help him, let me know. Okay? You see the pain in his wife's voice. You hear the pain in his mother's voice. Imagine his children. Let's get this man home. We can do this. We don't need assistance. It will be nice, to have bigger people help us. But still at the same time, we can do it ourselves. All right? Who put riots together? Who put protests together? Us, okay? We could do that and make change. We could do this and make change. So let's do it. Change.org, Free Torie, okay? I'm about to go on my Instagram right now and drop the governor of Virginia's information, public information, so we can legally send it, without an issue. But y'all make sure y'all come over there. So we're about to go over to the station. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. But I'm going to Instagram first to drop this information. So make sure y'all follow me over there. Once again, thank you so much, Lorene. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate the both of you for coming through. It was an honor to have both of you wonderful women here. Thank you so much. And until the next SeanDavieWay, oh my God, y'all, I love you guys. Bye.